What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Yankees Avenue Show on the Yankees Avenue YouTube channel. As usual, I'm Patrick Hennessy. That's Dan Rourke. Dan, we have a very special episode tonight. How are we feeling?
Pat, I am feeling the way I've been wanting to feel for a good while now, which is I'm content with the way the New York Yankees look on the field, which we felt the first few months. But after what we went through, all that in August and just waiting for the playoffs to get here, knowing that we secured a victory in game one like that, where not besides our shortstop, which maybe we'll get to, everything went well. It really did. I don't think you could have scripted a better ALDS game one for the Yankees. I really don't.
Yeah, and for those of you who didn't watch it, you might be living under a rock. The Yankees defeated the Cleveland Guardians, game one of the ALDS by a score of 4-1. There was a lot of things that went well. I say we kind of start by talking about the good things rather than like the maybe one bad thing. So I would say the man of the night, the MVP of the game for me, Gerrit freaking Cole, our ace. I talked about him going into this so many episodes before. This is the postseason that's going to define Gerrit Cole as a Yankee, and he's off to a pretty damn good start. Amazing start by him tonight. Gave up the solo shot to Steven Kwan, but that's fine because that's kind of like what we expect from Cole, right? Like give up like a random solo shot to some scrub and just don't give up any more than that. You know what I mean? Shout out Steven Kwan. I don't care. But yeah, no, I think overall I couldn't have asked for anything better from Cole. I think he probably could have went deeper if it wasn't for like IKF messing up in the first, but we'll get to that. But overall, I would say if I had to give Cole's start in game one a letter grade, I would give it an A.
Yeah, dude. I mean, you look back to what we asked for on the last episode. We said, give us 6 innings, 2 runs, and we'll take that. Well, what did he give us? He pitched into the 7th, 1 earned run. He looked phenomenal, dude. And even when he got into that little bit of trouble in the 3rd inning, I believe, balled out. And that's a big difference, I feel like, between tonight and the Gerrit Cole very recently, as like a month ago or whatever. When he would get into a rough situation or a jam, say it was his fault, or if it wasn't, say somebody made an error, you could immediately see the body language change. And it almost just be like he would, whether it was throwing you a fuck you fastball right down the middle, or it almost seemed like he would, I don't want to say give in a little bit, but you could tell the attitude change. That was not the case at all with Cole tonight. I'm not sure if you noticed or not, but from the very first, before he threw the first pitch of the game, through the jam, through the 6th, 7th inning, he looked emotionless on the mound tonight. Not positive, not negative, just a straight line. And I feel like it almost seems like he finally figured it out in a way of how he should pitch and how good he actually is. And that's what I was saying to my TV every single time when he had that 2nd and 3rd jam. I was like, bro, you are the ace. Understand how good you are. This is the things I say to my TV. And dude, he balled up tonight. He really did. And I got to say, I'm not sure if you saw the post game or not, but he said how special it was for him getting the ovation. And the fact that he finally got that on the first game, which we said was so important for him. This was a storyline I was obsessed with. His first start in Yankee Stadium, packed house in the Bronx, which, by the way, crowd was great tonight. Audio levels on the TV, not so much.
I was there.
You were there, so you wouldn't know. That you could see it, man. Like when he said it was really special for me, he took a few seconds to pause after. And it almost, at first I thought he was maybe going to cry. He didn't, but it's awesome. The performance he put up, how much it meant to him. And dude, the way this sets us up going forward, because he dominated the Guardians tonight. Overall, by the way, we've dominated the Guardians pretty much the whole season. I mean, I think we've won 5 out of 6, including tonight, or 6 out of 7 now. We've outscored them 38-14 this season. So couldn't have gotten off to a better start tonight. And we're set in now, man. Like my nerves were really starting to kick in about an hour before first pitch. And that continued through like the first like batter or two. But once we got past that, the first half, when Cole had his good first inning, I settled in. I was like, all right, now brand new season has started. Let's ride. And yeah, man, couldn't have gotten off to a better start.
And yeah, no, honestly, bro, couldn't have asked for any better from Cole. And you know, like we talk about the Yankees like scoring runs and kind of like backing him, supporting him a little bit. The thing I like the most about the offense tonight is that there was the main production was from guys that like we're not necessarily relying on, right? Like sure, Anthony Rizzo's in the 2-hole and like you should be relying on him. However, he's not like the Judge. He's not like the Stanton. So seeing Rizzo come in with that huge home run to put the Yankees ahead. And then also Harrison Bader with his solo shot, like just seeing contributions from every part of the lineup from the top and the bottom. I think that's a huge part of the offense tonight.
Dude, no, 100%, because like you mentioned, I mean, you bring up Judge, you bring up Stanton, even Gleyber Torres, who none of those guys, well, Judge reached base, but none of them got a hit.
Yeah.
You know they're going to, though. Donaldson, though, 2 for 2, which that was a little funny. I'm not sure the way it appeared to you in live time. Honestly, it wasn't, we'll touch on that real quick now, I guess. It wasn't that bad to me because, now it was bad, but it wasn't as bad as his previous ones for the fact of, I could understand why he thought that ball was gone rounding first. The problem, though, that I had was once you see that the ball is clearly in play, he just kind of like dwindled in between first, like a few feet off the first base bag. It's like, bro, no matter what, if it's going to be a home run, justice will be served. They will check the review and it'll be ruled a homer. Just get back to first. Like, don't be ruling or arguing your case while you're in the middle of the baseline.
But that's my thing, right? It's like for something that's as close as that in the postseason, you can't just automatically assume it's a home run, start jogging around the bases, especially when the umpires aren't really giving you the signal that it's a home run.
That's
You
not
can't
even
be
what,
jogging.
that's
bro.
not what bothered me though, because it was almost an actual home run. I mean, it kind of was. It hit the very top of the
I know,
wall.
but it was like he didn't know for
But
sure.
hold on, that's to me not what the issue was. It was like I said, he just waited, could have gotten back easily right away. Anyways, though, Donaldson looked good tonight. Rizzo, you mentioned, looked good tonight. And yeah, dude, Harrison Bader, that home run, man, I can only
Huge.
imagine being in the stadium because I'm sure that the audio levels tonight were the stadium I could tell was packed and electric. TBS definitely had the field level audio way too low. But
Yeah.
I imagine that was electric as hell, though, right?
Yeah, and yeah, no, it was electric as hell. And one thing that I will say, like I know we don't necessarily love ESPN. I think ESPN does a great job of measuring the field audio. I
If
think
there's
they
one
are awesome.
thing, yeah, it's always been the field
Yeah,
level
but
audio for them.
one thing I will say about the crowd tonight, electric. Don't get me wrong. However, one gripe I do have with the crowd is the ninth inning. I don't know if you could tell on TV in a 4-1 game in game one of the ALDS, a lot of empty seats. A lot of people hit the exits pretty early, like thinking, oh, it's a 3-run game, the Yankees automatically win. Not a huge fan of that, but I guess I
I'm not
understand.
either, but I will give them a little bit of slack. Oftentimes, and I've done this myself, they'll still be in the stadium watching, like in the concourse. So like sometimes they'll leave their seat and go up, just
Sure.
waiting for the
It was
final
more
out.
so the lower levels, though. You know, you could
Yeah.
senior
Oh well,
for
those
the
are the
level,
rich
but
motherfuckers.
yeah.
We don't
But
associate with them.
we've kind of like talked about all the positive things from tonight. Like the bullpen for the most part looked really good as well. One
Really
thing I
good,
do
man.
want to address as far as the bullpen goes, and this is my first gripe of the game tonight, because we talk about the positives and the negatives.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a huge fan. I actually no, I hated the decision of taking out Wandy Peralta in the ninth in favor of Clay Holmes. I thought that was just a very prime example of Aaron Boone over managing, something that I talk about all the time, and that scares me about Boone, especially in a postseason scenario. I would have rode with Wandy Peralta there. He was cruising. I don't think he had that many pitches under his belt either, especially to bring in Clay Holmes, who you don't really know what you're going to get out of Clay Holmes in that scenario, right? Like he hasn't necessarily been the guy. He's coming off injury. To bring him in the ninth inning with one out in game one of the ALDS, only up by 3, and then he hits the first batter, I thought we were screwed at that point. So if I was managing the Yankees, which I'm not, I 100% would have stuck with Wandy Peralta in that situation. And also, one last thing I will say about that, clearly Boone knew that it was a risky move, because right when he brought in Holmes, Trevino was warming up in the bullpen off rip. So he knew that there was a chance things could go south.
I hear what you're saying. The only gripe I maybe would have had with it, even though there was a lefty lead off the inning, I feel like with Clay, a big thing for him has been just give him a fresh spot, especially because he's not a strikeout guy.
Sure.
But I think it was important to get him in there. I mean, listen, he's still, I know we talked about how there's a closer by committee, but the way Boone has discussed his role, it almost seems like he is kind of the first guy in line, especially with F. Ross out, which that sucks. They also said that through like live VPs and whatnot, Holmes, it's been a really good 4 or 5 days, and he's looked really good. Coming off an injury, he's on the roster. An opportunity to get a save, which is, a 3-run lead. That's the most comfortable save opportunity you could have. I think it made sense to get him in there. And hey, the hit by pitch, that was obviously like a shaky start, concerned me the hell out of me at first. But the next 2 batters, what were they? I think ground balls. So
Yeah, no,
he ended up
it
looking
was.
pretty good.
I
I think
agree.
it's good I think it's good getting him in there for confidence reasons. The same reason we talk about it's great to have Cole get a good start under his belt in game 1. Same with Holmes, who's been shaky. Like,
Sure, but we could both agree that like there was that was a very high risk decision.
if it were a 2-run lead, I'd be so much more in agreement with you. I think I understand what you're saying though. Like I totally get where you're coming from.
Yeah, but listen, I will say the only other gripe I do have from tonight, just because the Yankees kind of played a very well all around game, especially Donaldson's defense at third base. That
Amazing.
great play. Love to see that.
And Oswaldo's playing left against the wall.
Beautiful
That was
stuff.
awesome.
Yeah, that was great.
Yo, what's up, guys? Dan here. Brief interruption to let you know that our friends over at Best Jersey Throwbacks are having an insane deal. Buy 3, get 1 free sale for a limited time. They have all our favorite Yankee players like Aaron Judge, Derek Jeter, Oswaldo Cabrera, and many, many more. Also, have other MLB teams as well. So if you're looking for players like Shohei Ohtani, Julio Rodriguez, and many more, you also got NBA jerseys, NFL, NHL, and even custom jerseys as well. So why spend over $150 on jerseys when you can buy them for $50 or less at bestjerseythrowbacks.com and get 4 jerseys for the price of 1? They provide an affordable buying experience for fans passionate about their favorite players and teams. Your purchase also comes with a tracking number and 24-hour customer service. Click the link in the description to check them out. You will not regret it.
But, we're speaking of defense. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa he's a hazard at shortstop. Like when you're driving down like one of those roads in like the country, it's like, oh, like icy road. Bro, he's more than an icy road. He's like deer crossing, icy road, railroad crossing, children at play. He's every hazard sign in one, and he's starting to become like, not even starting. He's a huge problem at shortstop, and it's come to a point where he could easily cost the Yankees a playoff game, and not only cost the Yankees a playoff game, but cost them like important pitches from Gerrit Cole. Like we saw Cole have to pitch probably about like 10 extra pitches in the first inning tonight, just because Isaiah Kiner-Falefa cannot field a simple ground ball. It's a problem.
Yeah, and it seems to be an extra problem when Cole's on the bump. I mean, when we were making out our like final line predictions, you kind of you assume that there'd be one unearned run because of IKF. And yeah, dude, I feel like the only line that went through Yankee fans' minds, at least it was for me, was here we go again, or you can't make it up, because it made so much sense. First inning, first opportunity, gets a ground ball to short with Gerrit Cole on the mound. It's a ball to his left, doesn't field it, typical IKF. And yeah, man, no, it was tough too, because the next at bat after that, he grounded into the double play. So wasn't a great night for IKF to start off. He did end up having that triple, so I want to cut him some slack, or double E9.
Yeah.
It's a problem though, for sure, especially, didn't help the fact that the whole day was centered around conversations. Why isn't Oswald Peraza on the roster? So when that immediately happened, man, there was not much in me looking to support IKF the way I kind of have been, and you have been too in a way. Like the past couple months, I've tried to like him, and obviously, as a person, he's fine, but that doesn't mean shit. We're talking baseball. He's just simply not a good baseball player. Not as advertised defensively as what he is. And that's where his value is supposed to stem from as a Yankee. I don't know what they do, man. I mean, obviously you're going to keep rolling him out. He's going to play every single game in the ALDS, but at some point, man, I mean, if it were to say the offense isn't there, which you assume it probably won't be, I mean, serviceable, whatever. But if the defense isn't, is there going to become a point where, once you change rounds, you can change the roster? Is Oswald Peraza possibly going to start playing in the playoffs if it gets to that point? Or are they just going to continue to be stubborn as they've been this entire season with IKF? Like that's an interesting conversation, man.
If I'm being honest with you at this point, and it's something that I really want to see them do tonight, because I think IKF came up to bat either in the 7th or the 8th. I'm not entirely sure. It would have been a perfect situation to pinch hit Matt Carpenter for Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, and then either throw Marwin Gonzalez over there at shortstop for the later innings to play short, or move Oswaldo Cabrera there and have him play shortstop. But I think no matter which one of those guys you do throw there, it can't be worse than what we've gotten from IKF lately. You know what I mean? And at least in that sense, like you're able to bring in Carpenter to pitch hit. Because now I'm thinking to myself, what other scenario would Carpenter even have a pinch hit opportunity if it's not for IKF?
Dude, I would absolutely have pinch hit Carpenter for the same reason I was cool with Holmes getting in. Right? Just get an at-bat under his belt. And, you're not expecting him to hit a homer. Who cares if he even strikes out? Just let him see live major league pitching again in a game situation. I think they probably should have done that. And I mean, yeah, with Marwin, you would think going into this year, who's the better defender, IKF or Marwin Gonzalez? Obviously IKF, and he still maybe, but the way he's looked, you're not really losing much, I don't think, defensively. So I'm interested to see what's going to happen if he's going to start any of these games, because Stan has since said he can play the outfield. Now, what that means, who knows? I mean, it's the difference between him saying it and Boone saying it, but him playing the outfield would lead to Carpenter starting a game. So whether or not we see that ALDS or ALCS, it's good to have him back, man. It's so awesome seeing the dugout, bro. They had a straight up Carpenter cam. I feel like anytime it was a homer or anything big in the Yankees, they would instantly cut to Carpenter, dude. And it was like, yo, let's go. He's our guy, man. Talk
love
about
it.
being quickly beloved by. I mean, it helps when you slug 700, but he's the man. He really is. And he was walking barefoot again out in the outfield today already.
Yeah, no, dude, I
Oh.
love it. I loved everything about ALDS game one. I'm not sure if they showed on TV, but right before the game, they shut off all the lights in the stadium. Nick Swisher came out and was waving a Yankee flag. That was probably the most electric moment I've ever seen in the history of Yankee Stadium.
It seemed so like something the
Magical.
Yankees wouldn't normally do. And that I absolutely love. When I saw that, at first I thought the power just went out. I'm like, they don't really do stuff like this. Hell, when they started flicking the lights on home runs, I'm like, oh, good for you, Yankees. You usually don't do stuff like that. This was awesome. The lights, period,
Insane.
when they shut that down was just awesome. I didn't know what they were going to do with it. But yeah,
Bro,
I
they
didn't
ran
know
out on the field with the lights off.
Oh, see, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
I
That
was
is
like, are
awesome.
they gonna like do warm-ups with the lights off? And then like once they got in position, then they turned them on. I was like, yo, this is insane.
I didn't know they did that. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was sick.
Loved it.
But yeah, no, it really gave that postseason feel. This might be the Yankees team that we've been waiting for a long time. The one that finally gets the job done. It looks like that they have the capability of doing so. It looks like we might be on a crash course for the Houston Astros again. I guess we'll have to wait and see. But overall, I would say tonight, ALDS game one, huge success. And not only because of the Yankees W, but I think more importantly, because of what we got from Gerrit Cole and what we saw from him and what we can expect from him moving forward. I think that's the biggest takeaway, even over the win.
It's hard not to get excited, man, especially when you have a first game like that went as perfectly crisp and smooth and just it's one of those things where if I woke up this morning, I would have been sad thinking that was a dream. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it seemed way too perfect in a way. And, you know, ALCS, Yankees, Astros, I'll tell you, bro, I was rooting for when Jordan hit that homer today, which that was electric as hell.
Insane.
I was cheering my ass off.
Insane,
I want it.
bro.
Give me Yankees.
Listen,
Astros.
I will say, great comeback win by the Astros. I will say that. I'll give credit where credit's due. Great win. Electric.
I want them.
But we'll see. We'll see. But Dan, I think it's going to wrap things up for today, huh?
Yeah, good little after show, yo. I'm enjoying these. We're doing after every single postseason. Also, we didn't shout out my outfit today, bro. What the hell? Check me out.
Oh, yeah.
How about that, yo?
Dan,
Full pinstripes. Can you believe it?
my favorite psychopath.
Hell yeah,
Favorite
bro.
psychopath.
Hell yeah. So part of me thinks I may have to keep this on for Thursday's game because I ain't
Which
like a
hopefully they play.
superstitious guy. Yeah, man. And I gotta say, the way they schedule this ALDS is whack, or just the postseason
Brutal.
scheduling overall.
Move the
Having a
game
day
till
off
Wednesday,
tomorrow,
please.
bro. Come on, man.
Yeah,
Like,
and let me
It
just
ruins
say,
my vibe. I can't even get that excited about postseason baseball for this team, or just watching it. I'm saying, because dude, tomorrow it's as if shit didn't even start.
I know. Let's just say this though. That's why it's even better that they did win today. Because let's say they have a layoff until Friday, we can kind of cherish the win a little bit longer.
That's
But
true.
a huge downside of that is if the game on Thursday does get rained out, it'll get pushed to Friday, and then that means that the Yankees might have to play 4 straight postseason games, which would be brutal because 2 of those games, in between 2 of those games, they would be traveling. So hopefully
And I
it doesn't.
think
get to
it
that
would
point,
help.
but
I believe it would help Cleveland's pitching situation as well. Because as of right now, I think they would have Quantrill go game 5,
I
which
think
instead
so.
of that, I was talking to Rose before, and I think that would mean Bieber could go 5 if it gets rained out. So yeah, hopefully that
Yeah.
doesn't happen.
Yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, though.
Yeah. Yo, great time tonight. Great job by the Yankees tonight. Great job by Gerrit Cole tonight.
My ace.
Like we
my
said,
ace.
really couldn't have gone better. And yeah, man, I think that'll do it. We'll see you guys. When will we see them next? I guess after game 2?
After game 2, which is hopefully going to be Friday morning.
Word. So
maybe
we're not
we'll do
doing an
watch
episode.
parties or something.
That
We'll
would
see.
be
We'll
awesome.
figure it
That
out.
would be awesome. But we don't have a set episode coming out on Friday morning, correct?
I
Oh, well, that's
don't
after
think
game
so.
2, isn't it?
If the Yankees play Thursday night, then yes.
Word. Okay.
Yeah.
Look at us doing the behind the scenes right here live on air. All right, yo, that's going to do it. Drop a like, drop a comment, subscribe if you are new. Follow Pat on Twitter at Unhinged Patrick, me at Dan Allen Rourke, and we'll see you guys next time. Let's go, Yankees.